About the daughter of the Black Panther in Georgia who's brought these charges against President Trump. We're going to talk about all of that and take your calls on it. And um, Dick Morris, what Dick Morris said on NewsMax last night is chilling. I mean, chilling. So, I'm going to start with Dick Morris. And, all right, here we go. We've got 20 seconds.
Since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome to the program, one and all. My name is Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show, and of course, we have a lot to cover on the program today. We're going to talk about the daughter of Black Panther member, this prosecutor in Georgia, and what she's doing and what this means and what's going on moving forward. And I got to tell you, this is a bad one in Georgia because Georgia is so corrupt. And Dick Morris, I'm going to start with this, and Dick Morris is close to President Trump. We've had him on this program a number of times. He is a senior advisor to President Trump and talks to President Trump daily. So when Dick Morris talks, you really need to pay attention to what he's saying. Most of these people are just on television, these pundits just yakety yak. But Dick Morris, when Dick Morris speaks, what you're hearing is something that's come out of a conversation that he's had with President Trump. So I take Dick Morris more serious than any other pundit on any cable news outlet when they're talking about things involving Trump, okay? Because if you want to know what's going on inside the mind of President Trump, listen to Dick Morris on these things, okay? And Dick Morris was on Rob Schmitt on NewsMax last night, and I'm going to play the clip, and it's not good. So here we go. Here's Dick Morris last night on NewsMax with Rob Schmitt. Hold on, let me turn up the volume on everything. There we go.
What's going to happen is that...
Okay, let me rewind. Here we go.
Just fast forward a touch. What's going to happen is that Trump is indicted now in Fulton County and in Washington, D.C., and he's going to be convicted. There's going to be a biased jury pool. We already know there's a biased prosecutor. In Washington County, the Washington, D.C., Hunter Biden's law partner is the judge. And he's going to go to prison. And he will be elected from prison president. It will not make any difference at all. He is going to be able to win this election no matter what they throw at him.
You think he's actually going to prison?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. So when Dick Morris says that, that means that President Trump thinks he's going to go to prison, or Dick Morris has certainly told him that his analysis of the situation is that he is going to go to prison. Now, let me tell you, this is scary stuff. This is one of the major transformations in America, in all of our history. There's been several periods in American history of transformation. And, FDR and Lyndon Johnson together brought us into a socialist state with the New Deal and the Great Society and all of that. There's been these huge moments in American history that have changed the country forever. And what these low-life Democrats are doing to this country through these repeated indictments and prosecutions and arrests of President Trump is taking us into an area where this is really a banana republic. We are third world. We're becoming a third world country. It's happened. And It's just something we've got to accept. It's not good. It's not good. Fani Willis has given President Trump a surrender deadline, and she's not waiting around. I mean, she wants him in jail. She wants him arrested. She wants him booked. She wants him to get the mugshot. And, you know, this is a problem in Fulton County, Georgia, because these are people that are angry. You know, Fani Willis, we're going to learn a lot more about her and her background. But now we find out that she is the daughter of a Black Panther. The Black Panthers, people don't remember the Black Panthers too much. People have this revisionist version of who the Black Panthers were. The Black Panthers were a communist revolutionary organization. Now, I'm not one to hold people accountable for things that their parents or grandparents have done. However, Fani Willis has talked throughout her entire life, her entire public life, of the inspiration that she's gotten for her career from her father. So she's a Black Panther. Maybe not officially, but she's a Black Panther. Black Panthers are not just radical communist revolutionaries who used to do things like kill people, ambush cops and kill them, and hijack airplanes to Cuba and things like this. There's certainly that. But they're also hardcore racists and hate white people with a passion. And that's the environment in which Fani Willis was raised. So what she's doing is going to take things to the most possible extreme that she is able to do. And President Trump being arrested, it's in Fulton County. If Fani Willis and the sheriff there, oh boy, have their way, it's not going to go like New York, D.C., or Miami. They're going to put cuffs on. Their plan is to put cuffs on him, fingerprint him, probably not with the electronic fingerprinting. They want to have ink on his fingers, so they'll probably bring out the old ink pads. They want the mugshot, and they want him in a holding cell, and they want him brought in, and all on television, by the way, and they want to bring him in front of a judge, handcuffed, for an arraignment. Now, this is absurd, of course, for every reason, and we'll get into more details about it. I'm going to throw something out. I want to hear your thoughts on the entire event, and I'll go through more of the details as the show goes on. But I personally believe that the United States Secret Service should not allow him to go to Fulton County to surrender. This should be done from afar, remotely. Shouldn't be happening at all, but it's going to happen. It is not safe for President Trump to go to Fulton County. You've got a sheriff and a prosecutor who are radical revolutionary Black Panthers, at least the prosecutor is, and they're angry, and they're entitled, and they're out to prove a point. And I do not believe that he should go there to surrender. I think the Secret Service should refuse this. I think he should come home to Florida, go to Mar-a-Lago, and fight it. Fight it. We can, I think having him put in the, Fani Willis is not going to back down like these others have in Miami, D.C., and New York with the Secret Service. If he goes there with the Secret Service, the sheriff has been saying there will be a mugshot. Well, you know, the Secret Service have stood firm with their protection of Trump and have run the operations in these three other kangaroo situations. I don't think the sheriff and Fani Willis are going to bend the knee so easily. And there could actually be a confrontation between the United States Secret Service and the deputies in Fulton County, because the sheriff and the prosecutor are so entitled, so angry, and they're out to prove something, and they're racist as racist gets. So I want to hear your thoughts on all of this. We'll take our first break. I'll go through more of the details. And when Dick Morris says that he's going to go to jail, that he's going to be convicted, that he's going to go to prison, that means President Trump believes that is what's going to happen. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I want to hear your thoughts on the whole thing, but do you think that he should fight extradition and not surrender? That the Secret Service should say no? I don't believe Fani Willis and the sheriff there are just going to say okay and let him go. In fact, they could declare him a flight risk and not allow him to leave. Are you kidding me? Yeah. No, I mean, I think this is a new era we're in right now. These are people that aren't just corrupt and racist. They've got something to prove to the world, to their constituents, to their friends. Our number is 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Now, I also want to say this. I was going to break, but I'm going to say this before we break because I saw someone in our chat room on YouTube say this, and I think I can go along with this. I think we should boycott the state of Georgia. And that means something in Florida because that's a border state. I think we should boycott the state of Georgia. I really do. And, a lot of people in Florida go to Georgia on a regular basis. That should all stop. In fact, all the red states should boycott Georgia until this is taken care of. All right, those of you on hold, hang in there. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, where MAGA comes to talk. The longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening to us, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. I just want to say thank you for Dr. Appleton because I'm from Orlando. It took 3 hours to go down there. It took my 90-year-old mom. My mom walked straighter than she ever walked in her life. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such a willing vessel to talk about Dr. Appleton.
That's amazing. So you heard me in Orlando talking about Dr. Appleton and drove to South Florida with your mother to see him.
Yeah, my mom is awesome now. Awesome. No more arthritis, no more pills, none of that. She's going back to New York. She sits on the train for 24 hours. And I'm telling you, no pain. She gets off that train, and my sister says she walks like a young woman.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com.
Need help with your finances? You need Keith Singer. Review your income plans, tax strategies, estate plans, and more with Keith Singer. Listen to Singer Wealth Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. right here on the True Oldies channel and SingerWealth.com.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find.
These are rough days, people.
Or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your healthcare and visit Any Lab Test Now of Boca at Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca at Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Love the outdoors and the open road?
All right, here we go.
This RV Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Hosted by Giant Recreation World second generation owner and CEO Larry McNamara and his co-host Dwayne Adams. RV Hour, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. right here on the True Oldies channel.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. Welcome. It's the Steve Kane Show. I was listening during the commercial break to my recorded commercial for Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. And, I was thinking, how hot it's been? Oh, my goodness. Heat. This is a weird summer, too, of heat. It's a different kind of heat than we're used to in Florida. Have you noticed? It doesn't feel like we have as much humidity. It's that dry heat they always talk about out west. But do you know what food is for a hurricane? Food for a hurricane is heat. And God help us if, I know, if we get hurricanes this year with this kind of weather, God help us. So if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, if your roof is compromised or damaged in any way, call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. He's a good MAGA guy, and he covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need. You can find him online at LaportaContracting.com. I'm going to give you his phone number. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. And those of you that are new to Florida, hurricanes are not something to mess around with, especially with this hot summer we're having. Oh, man, it is hurricane season. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602 for Tom Laporta of Laporta Contracting. Before I go to the phones, let me play this clip again. Dick Morris, senior advisor to President Trump, speaks with the president daily, was on NewsMax last night talking to Rob Schmitt and said this about the Georgia charges in Trump.
Just fast forward a touch. What's going to happen is that Trump is indicted now in Fulton County and in Washington, D.C., and he's going to be convicted. There's going to be a biased jury pool. We already know there's a biased prosecutor. In Washington County, the Washington, D.C., Hunter Biden's law partner is the judge, and he's going to go to prison, and he will be elected from prison president. It will not make any difference at all. He is going to be able to win this election no matter what they throw at him.
You think he's actually going to prison?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so that's Dick Morris, who talks to the president every day. By the way, those in the audience that think that there's systemic racism against African Americans, looks like African Americans are pretty empowered. We've got black judges, black prosecutors, black sheriffs, black state attorney generals arresting a president of the United States. Have we moved beyond that systemic racism myth? Seems like black people are pretty empowered in America today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Victor from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Hey, Victor.
Hi, Brian. I have 2 points. Number one, I remember that woman saying, everybody get out of the building, we have a water leak or something?
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about what's going on now. I don't want to talk about all this stuff in the past. I want to talk about what's going on now.
I'm surprised Mark Levin isn't on the list.
No, maybe. Hey, listen, maybe you could add. Did I see that Jenna Ellis is on the list?
Yes.
I don't trust Jenna Ellis has been promoting DeSantis for months nonstop on social media, and I don't trust her. I just don't trust Jenna Ellis.
If I were Trump, I agree with you. He should stay out of Georgia altogether and make the authorities, so-called authorities, come and get.
Well, yeah, I don't. These Fulton County, the prosecutor and the sheriff there have too much to prove. They're too angry. They're too angry, and I just don't think that President Trump should be allowed to go there even by the Secret Service.
Worries me is once they get him in custody, they could kill him.
All right, we can't be talking about that stuff. Oh my goodness! Once they get him in custody, God, let me tell you before we take more calls. Okay, this is not a time to say stupid stuff that you know you can't say, like Victor. What an idiot! This is a time to be cool, be calm, and don't say stupid stuff. All right. I'll wait for the delay to build back up before we take some more calls. Now, so far as Dick Morris, Dick Morris used to work for Bill Clinton. He worked on Bill Clinton's second presidential campaign and got Bill Clinton reelected. And he also worked on his gubernatorial campaigns in Arkansas and got him reelected after he had been defeated out there. So, Dick Morris. But Dick Morris has been with Trump for quite some time now. And when it comes to political analysis of situations, he's very good, and he's spot on, and he's correct more often than he's not. But most importantly, President Trump respects him and listens to his opinion. Okay? And when you hear a conversation with Dick Morris on television, I promise you that it's a conversation that he's had with President Trump. Now, I'm going to wait till after the bottom of the hour break to take any more calls. So if you're on hold, hang in there. You're all welcome to call in. It is a toll-free number at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. But I'm going to say this. Stop saying stupid stuff like Victor, all right? Don't be a dummy. You should know better. Be cool, be calm, be collected. Don't fit the stereotype that they want you to fit. You got to understand something. These people are listening and monitoring every word you say. All right? So you can't act like an idiot. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we get back, we'll get into more details of this and to the calls if you can behave yourselves. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Gregg.
All right, guys, hold on.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Now, of course, if you'd like to support my channel, my content, the show, go to mypillow.com, buy something. You can take advantage of all the specials at mypillow.com with my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and the MyPillow 2.0 with cooling technology. The top layer has the cooling technology. It's 40% off and free shipping. And also, the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper 2.0 comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee, so it's a good deal. So check it out.
I just saw this pop up on Twitter or X every single time.
Oh yeah, text me that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you're supporting Mike Lindell too. And I sleep on that MyPillow mattress topper every night. It perfectly regulates your body temperature. It's absolutely amazing. So it's the MyPillow mattress topper 2.0. 40% off and free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com. By the way, it comes in every mattress size there is. Okay? So go and order. It's great. I love it. I've been sleeping on our 3-inch mattress topper for years, but now this is an upgrade. And if you already have the older mattress topper, put that on your guest bed and get this new one with the temperature regulating technology. Oh yeah, I love Def Leppard. Who doesn't like Def Leppard? How could you not like Def Leppard? Pour Some Sugar on Me is my favorite Def Leppard song, no doubt about it. Yeah, you got to wear your MAGA hat today. I wore my MAGA hat in support of President Trump. But all their songs are good. Photographs good. But I like Pour Some Sugar on Me as a favorite. Mm-hmm. Love Bites is good. All their songs are good. I played Pour Some Sugar on Me when I was in high school in my car so many times. I wore out that cassette like at least twice, and I had to buy that. I had to buy that cassette like 3 or 4 times because I wore out the cassette. No, this is serious business that's going on here. I mean, this is serious business, and we've got these out of control lunatics that are misusing their offices and everything else and authorities to do what it is that they're doing.
From Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director of Neuropathy. We want to welcome you to Lighthouse Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. If you have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642.
All right, here we go. Coming back.
754-222-6642.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. So Fani Willis, they're a bad person. This is a very bad person. I'm reading this article from Mediaite. Now, Mediaite's very left-wing, so some of the words and phrases come from their liberal viewpoint, but they point out some things here that we need to talk about. President Donald Trump's 2024 campaign attacked Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's Black Panther family on Monday after President Trump was charged with 13 felonies. You know, now the Black Panthers, you got to understand something. This is not like your local NAACP chapter. They were around, the Black Panthers were running around when Martin Luther King was doing his great work. And Martin Luther King, who modeled his entire movement after Gandhi, was peaceful, nonviolent protest. And he was successful. And he did great things, Martin Luther King. The Black Panthers were the opposite of that. They accomplished nothing, and they didn't like Martin Luther King because he wasn't violent. They were violent. They killed people. They hijacked airplanes. They killed cops. They did all kinds of terrible things. And this is who her father was working with. Soon after the charges were made public yesterday, the Trump campaign sent out a lengthy email titled "The Truth About Fani Willis," which alleged the prosecutor was a Democrat activist and she came from a family steeped in hate. Both of those things are true. Under the subheadings, a family steeped in hate, and Fani Willis is the daughter of a former Black Panther. You know, there's no such thing as a former Black Panther, by the way. I'm not talking about these new guys that show up at things. Her father was with the original Black Panthers that don't exist anymore. You got a bunch of wannabes trying to pretend. Once it's like the Black Panthers were like the Black Ku Klux Klan, okay? It's true. It's very true. They were very violent, very violent. Also, yes, this is true. The Black Panthers, once the original Black Panthers, not these guys that are pretenders today. Once a Black Panther, always a Black Panther. Okay? There's no leaving the Black Panthers. Under the subheadings, a family steeped in hate, and Fani Willis is the daughter of a former Black Panther, the Trump campaign quoted a 2021 Time magazine article that revealed that Fani Willis's father was indeed a Black Panther. And here's what it says. This is from Time magazine. And this is incredibly relevant. And this is one of the reasons that President Trump should not surrender in Fulton County. The daughter of a former Black Panther who recently retired as a criminal defense attorney, the Inglewood, California-born Willis, would go along when her father went to court on Saturday mornings. The judge who oversaw the Saturday courtroom, an older white man, was, according to Willis, known to be mean. But each week, he had Willis, too young to stay home alone or to hear the details her father needed to discuss with the client, sit next to him in the courtroom, the two whispering back and forth. One day, Willis's father asked her what on earth they talked about. Fani has a proud family background as an African-American woman, as what can now be considered a foreshadowing to her future endeavors. She describes her Swahili's name intended meaning, saying, "My name is actually Fani. Tafaya is my middle name, and my last name is Willis. My father was a Black Panther, so he was very Afrocentric. My name is Swahili. Fani actually means prosperous, and her middle name means people." The Trump campaign also accused Willis of hiding a prior relationship with a member of a gang that she was prosecuting. While Trump has repeatedly accused Willis of having an affair with a gang member, an accusation which was debunked by Fox News. Oh, really? Oh, well, we trust Fox News, don't we? Yeah, we trust them so much after they fired Tucker Carlson and Bongino and the rest. Trump was charged with 13 felonies on Monday. Several associates of Trump were also charged, including America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Now, I'm going to stop on Rudy Giuliani. This one always pains me. Rudy Giuliani is a war hero. In fact, on 9/11, he and the heroes of Flight 93 were the first heroes of the War on Terror. When America was attacked on 9/11, every member of the federal government went into hiding. Bush was flying around on Air Force One. Cheney was in the bunker underneath the White House. And every member of the Senate, including Biden and Hillary Clinton, who was in the Senate at the time, and every member of the United States House of Representatives evacuated and hid out on U.S. military installations. Even their children were picked up no matter where they were and taken to secure locations. Okay? Mayor Giuliani went to Ground Zero while the attack was going on, before the buildings fell, and he took charge while America was under attack. He's a war hero. He's an Audie Murphy type character. He's one of the greatest war heroes of American history, Mayor Giuliani. I'm sorry to tell you liberals that. And to treat an American war hero like this is disgusting. And I'm not exaggerating it. In fact, I'm probably downplaying his heroics on 9/11. That's why he got that title of America's Mayor. So to treat an American war hero like this is outrageous. Several associates of Trump were also charged, including Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, who was President Trump's chief of staff and is a great guy. I've had Mark Meadows on my podcast. as well as Trump attorneys, former Trump attorneys, John Eastman and Jenna Ellis. Now, Jenna Ellis concerns me because she's so much in the DeSantis camp. But I would say that it's quite possible that now this affair that Trump has referenced multiple times of Fani Willis, I can't say Fani, Fani Willis. I speak English, not Swahili. Okay, in English it's pronounced Fanny. This alleged affair between Fani Willis and gang members that Trump keeps referencing. Why is she not asked about this? I haven't heard her publicly deny this. I have not heard her asked about this since President Trump started making the allegations. That could very well be a criminal act. I also believe, based on the radicalism that we're seeing from her, and I'll throw this out to you guys to agree or disagree, I think she's still a Black Panther. Okay? You know, Robert Byrd was in the Klan his entire life. You know, many people believe that Robert Byrd, close friend of Joe Biden's, Joe Biden eulogized him. He was a Grand Kleagle with the Ku Klux Klan, very high-ranking person and Klan recruiter. You know, when the civil rights movement was lost by the Democrats to the movement of Martin Luther King and the Republicans, a lot of Klan members, high-ranking Klan members like Robert Byrd, just hung up their sheets and became just regular Democrats, and the media was happy to allow them to do that. But he was a Klansman his entire life, Robert Byrd. And I would say that Fani Willis, there's a very good chance that she's a Black Panther. She's very radical. So, listen, things are going to get worse for Trump before they get better. She's pushing this 6-month deadline, and you know, I know that conventional thinking is that'll never happen. RICO charges take years. I've heard all the experts. We're not dealing with people that are concerned about the justice system. What we're dealing with are corrupt public officials and outlaws who are misusing their offices and their badges to accomplish a political means. You know, what the Democrats are doing is what the Democrats have always done. If you remember the Jim Crow laws that discriminated against African Americans in the South for 100 years after the Civil War, that was the Democrats. And what did the Democrats do? The Democrats had corrupt judges, prosecutors, and county sheriffs that persecuted political opposition. That happened to be the Republicans too, Black Republicans. So the way that Fani Willis is handling her office right now is how the prosecutors in the South, the Democrat prosecutors in the South, handled business in 1923. You understand what's going on here? They're outlaws. Outlaws. And, you know, it's really frightening. You know, when this business was going on by the Democrats in the 20s, 30s, all the way through the civil rights movement, we didn't have an informed population like we do now. This is all happening with live stream video, finding out about things instantly as they happen. And these people are so corrupt and so entitled and so angry, they are doing this in front of all of us on live streaming video and on television, and they're fearless. All right, we're going to take our last break of the first hour. I will get to calls after the break. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Join the True Oldies team this Tuesday from noon to 2 p.m. at Pure Wellness Medical, 9033 Glades Road, Suite 200B in Boca at Attic Medical Aesthetics. Enjoy 50% off select procedures, as well as a chance to win free cruises, hormone replacement, weight management, dermal fillers, hydrofacials, pure PRP facials, and facelifts, and so much more. And yes, we are raffling off free cruises for 2. See you Tuesday from noon to 2 p.m. at Pure Wellness Medical in Boca, 9033 Glades Road, Suite 200B at Attic Medical Aesthetics.
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
Investing is one of the ways you can help secure your financial future. Make sure you are investing with a registered investment professional who is required to act in your best interest when recommending investments to you and when investing your assets. Florida's Office of Financial Regulation has information and resources online to help you verify that you're working with a registered member of the financial services industry. Visit flofr.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Florida Office of Financial Regulation, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all. My name is Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold. Stand by now. I want to talk about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell, and the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology. This was amazing. You know, my wife and I sleep on this. It will change your life. The top layer is the cooling. It's a cooling pad. It perfectly regulates your body temperature all night long. And it'll work just as well in the winter as it is during the summer. And during these hot months of the summer, it will keep you perfectly cool, your entire body all night long. It comes in every mattress size there is. It's a major upgrade on the original 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. So if you have the original, this is an upgrade to that because it has the cooling technology added to it. And if you already have the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, it'll be well worth it getting the 2.0 with cooling technology. Make that other one your guest mattress topper, or give that one away as a gift and get yourself the new one. It's absolutely amazing. By the way, it comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. And the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is 40% off and free shipping when you use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And remember, of course, you can use our promo code KANE for all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones that I talk about. I share what I consider to be the best deals and the must-haves. And all these products I talk about, I have. And I bought them myself with the promo code because the prices are so low. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology. Just use our promo code KANE at checkout at MyPillow.com. 40% off and free shipping. Or order by phone 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Now, this is pretty crazy. There's a little thing here I want to add before I forget. Now, listen to this. This is in Georgia. President Trump was charged along with 18 others, including Giuliani, Mark Meadows, Jenna Ellis, and a bunch of people whose names are not well known, or some of them I've never heard of, Sidney Powell, right? But listen to this. There were also 30 unindicted co-conspirators accused of being part of the plot but have not been named or charged. 30 unindicted co-conspirators. Oh my goodness. Now this is when it can get really crazy. Mark Levin, Sean Hannity, people like that. Tucker could be a part of that. And these are also some of the people that they want to put the screws to. President Trump and the others have until noon, August 25th, to surrender themselves or an arrest warrant will be issued. I believe Donald Trump should fight this. I don't think it's a good idea for him to be going to Fulton County to be put in the custody of these out-of-control people. All right, let's go. You're on the air.
You know, I wouldn't surrender myself to these people. And if your governor wasn't running around trying to be president and being the governor and being for Trump, he would say, you're going to try and come into my state and get this guy and basically kidnap my guy?
Well, you know, it's an interesting thing going on because Ron DeSantis, by the way, thanks for the call, Mike. Let me play, I was going to play this later, if at all, because of what's going on. Now, Ron DeSantis, this is interesting. Let me pull this up. Because Ron DeSantis, do I have this? Yes, okay, I have this clip. Ron DeSantis, I was telling you yesterday that Ron DeSantis looked like a broken man at the Iowa State Fair, and I stand by that. I think he realized he's destroyed his life, his career, and his political future at the Iowa State Fair. And he gave an interview yesterday and said something about Disney. And I think it's kind of a very telling about the situation Trump is facing right now, possibly. Listen to this. This is Ron DeSantis yesterday.
You know, we've basically moved on. They're suing the state of Florida. They're going to lose that lawsuit. So what I would say is drop the lawsuit. You know, you have the state that even CNBC ranks as #1 of all 50 states for economy. We lead the nation in new business formations. Unemployment is incredibly low. Great fiscal posture. People are bringing capital into Florida. This is a great place to do business. Your competitors all do very well here. Universal SeaWorld. They have not had the same special privileges as you have, so all we want to do is treat everybody the same, and let's move forward. I'm totally fine with that, but I'm not fine with giving extraordinary privileges, you know, to one special company at the exclusion of everybody else.
Okay, so that's Ron DeSantis talking about Disney. You notice DeSantis, to me, it looks like DeSantis very well may be looking for an exit strategy out of this presidential campaign, right? Because he's starting to get back to Florida business, which I haven't heard him talk about too much. And, you know, I'm never going to forget what Ron DeSantis has done, and he hasn't done this yet. However, if he offered safe haven for President Trump here in Florida, that would go a long way to, I wouldn't say forgiving him anytime soon, but he could win back a little bit of respect for us. You know, the reason I say this about Fulton County is you watched that press conference yesterday, and what I heard was anger. You know, Jack Schmitt at his press conferences, I didn't hear anger. I heard someone who was suffering from a lot of stage fright. Jack Schmitt, this weirdo prosecutor, to me, seems scared at his press conferences, right? Is that the impression you got? He seemed nervous. And I'm not the only person that made that observation. I've heard others make the same observation. Fani Willis, she seemed angry last night at this midnight indictment. And, you know, this indictment came at a very late hour. I was asleep. And the reason she came, I think, with that indictment so late last night is because they mistakenly dropped the indictment on the Fulton County clerk website yesterday afternoon. So they had to rush in and do it so it looked like they didn't commit any crimes or anything. All right, let's go back to our very, very busy phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Dave in Virginia.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, Brian, I agree with you. I don't think President Trump should go to Georgia, and I think that he should give MAGA a chance to peacefully assemble.
No, we're not going to talk. No, we're not going to talk about organizing or protesting or anything. All right. How well did that go on January 6th? Don't be stupid. We got to be cool. Stay home. Don't go to protests. Don't go to Georgia. Don't go to courthouses. Go nowhere. That's what they want you to do. Don't say stupid stuff. You know, listen, one thing we can be sure about is President Trump is the most competent person to ever be president of the United States, and also the most competent person to lead any kind of movement. And follow his lead. Don't tell people to go anywhere. You'll never hear me tell people to go anywhere, except maybe a Trump rally somewhere. Do not go to Georgia. Do not go to the courthouse. Do not show up and protest. Okay? Do none of that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, the saddest day in the United States history. You have, you remember back, well, you don't remember, back in 1957, Fidel Castro went down the streets of Havana. Now you got Fidel Castro in female version in Atlanta. Country's done what they have done here to put President Trump in handcuffs. You know what the reason for putting somebody in handcuffs? So they don't flail out at the sheriffs. But he's got Secret Service protecting him all around him. He's not going to do that. Purpose is intimidate you, me, and everybody else. In other words, if you look at this indictment, Brian, if the government doesn't agree, and it comes all the way down from Biden. Biden's got his hand on this too. And the Democratic Party, if you don't go along with what they say, and if they think something just like the COVID with the masks and everything else, and in other words, if you don't go along with them, and
see, Richie, you're old enough to remember the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers were a radical, violent, terrorist organization. They were the black alternative to the Ku Klux Klan, which was in the South and violent at the time. They believed that they were the counterpunch to the Klan. They were violent, and they killed people, including cops, and they hijacked airplanes. And I'm here to tell you that Fani Willis is a Black Panther.
remember Joe Biden said, hey, they're going to put you all back in chains when he was talking to blacks? Well, what you got yesterday was her telling the Republicans, and I don't know where they are, by the way. They're out there playing golf. There's no statements or no nothing. They're telling us we're going to put you all in chains. If your career, I'm 74 years old. You're still going strong, and you got a future in front of you. These people are successful. It's also 29 other defendants. Look what their positions are, what they're trying to put in jail. Look at.
I have never heard of people's attorneys being put in. You know, there were attorneys who defend pedophiles, rapists, the worst of our society. I've never heard of putting, and they go to court and fight it and say not guilty. I've never heard of attorneys being arrested and charged, and it happens time and time again. You know, this is the thing. When you're dealing with radical Black Panther, black racist, like we're dealing with in Georgia right now, you're dealing with people that think that they're entitled to, they want to put all white people in jail. Let's be honest. Fani Willis would like to put all white people in jail. That's where we belong for past grievances that they think they have. And I don't believe that President Trump should be surrendered in Georgia. I just don't. I think he should not.
What about the other 20?
Well, the problem is they're not a president, so he's got some added protections and such.
I get where you're coming from. He's got to go. This has to be. We have to fight this right there. It's got to go. But the problem is that the courts are corrupted. She just took a hand grenade to the justice system. If you thought that the justice system was fair at any time, and any of your Democratic call.
By the way, was Fani Willis backed? Is she one of those Soros prosecutors?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, you know, and George Soros about 10, 12 years ago started backing local prosecutors. And look at what's happened. We got this with Fani Willis, and we've look what happened at that store that got raided in California over the weekend. Look at what's going on.
First of all, yeah, look what's going on. I'm going to tell you right now, there's other prosecutors in the country just like her. And the fact of the matter is, any of these Democrats that call you up today gloating, saying that Trump is going to jail, their rights and freedoms are being demolished right in front of their face. This guy from Jersey that calls you all the time, if he doesn't sit back and analyze it, they're going to come after the regular people in the street. They're going to monitor, they're going to take your money and digitize it. So like in Canada.
Well, listen, Richie, I'm up against the top. I got to run, but thanks for the call, Richie. Great call. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll go back to the phones after the break at the top of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll free call no matter where you're listening to us. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the Oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. We have another heat advisory day across the area. Area-wide, it'll feel like between 105 and 110. Actual highs surging into the low 90s with a chance isolated of some storms late. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
The Palm Beach community is still in pretty good shape this morning. I-95 on the Turnpike remaining crash-free, moving up to full speed between Boca Raton and Jupiter. No delays being found yet on 95 heading northbound from Deerfield Beach into Boca. But further south end of Broward County, a right shoulder is blocked by a crash along I-95 heading southbound at Cypress Creek Road. The car has also went off the road. So expect a little bit of a scene there. Just be sure to use caution as you get by. The I-95 southbound run from Sheridan Street has been reopened. This report is sponsored by Macy's. This week at Macy's, save big on updates you need now, like shoes and swim for her and summer essentials for him. Plus, find great deals on back-to-school specials like backpacks from JanSport, High Sierra, and more, now at Macy's. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, PBKC features South Florida's premier sports card and memorabilia show featuring amazing vendors with something for everyone. Enjoy free admission and parking, prizes, great food and drink options.
If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, guys. And of course, everyone, there's over 1,200 in the live stream right now. Make sure that you like the video. If you're already subscribed, you can always like the video too. That helps a lot.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. It's taken 2.5 years, but the investigation of former President Trump's bid to overthrow his election loss in Georgia has produced indictments on Trump and 18 others.
This indictment essentially alleges that from the moment the voting stopped, Donald Trump, since even before, Donald Trump was running a criminal enterprise to try to stay in office. Everything he said publicly, every speech he made, every tweet he posted, everything he did was in furtherance of a criminal conspiracy.
ABC's Terry Moran. All this as Trump tries to win a third Republican presidential nomination.
He has to surrender no later than 8:25. That's 2 days after the first Republican debate. It's unclear if the president is going to take the stage. January 2nd is when you have a judge in a separate case pushing to start, the special counsel's pushing to start that trial in Washington, D.C. That's 2 weeks before the Iowa caucuses are set to begin.
ABC's Rachel Scott. This is ABC News.
Hold up, you're using Swiffer Power Mop? What would Mom say?
Oh, she'd be like,
A mopping bucket is the only way to deep clean your floors.
and I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one that gets you a mop and bucket clean in half the time.
She'd never believe you.
I'd say, look, the solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get into grout lines. That's why you're the smart one.
Really?
What? Mom said it.
The new Swiffer Power Mop. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone.
with installation of your Sloman shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized
Be back in just a minute, guys.
system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
100B in Boca at Attic Medical Aesthetics.
Here we go.
Enjoy 50% off select procedures, as well as a chance to win free cruises, hormone replacement, weight management, dermal fillers, hydrofacials, pure PRP facials, and facelifts, and so much more. And yes, we are raffling off free cruises for 2. See you Tuesday from noon to 2 p.m. at Pure Wellness Medical in Boca, 9033 Glades Road, Suite 200B at Attic Medical Aesthetics.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, one and all. I am Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. You know, what wakes you up in the morning? You know what wakes me up? Espresso coffee. I have a lot of it before I leave, and then when I get here to the radio station, espresso. And I'm addicted to it like Hunter is to crack, coke, and hookers. But espresso coffee is what wakes me up in the morning. Our top of the hour news people, what gets them energized isn't espresso coffee. It's trumped-up charges against President Trump. Is it just me or our news people, they're reading the news about the Trump indictments in Georgia with smile in their voice? Smile in their voice. That's like a radio term, you know, broadcaster term. You know, when you're on the air and you want to be happy, like if you're recording a commercial and it's good news, you're supposed to smile while you're recording it. It'll make it sound, you get smile in your voice. And I'm hearing a lot of smile in the voices from our top of the hour news people. Here we have our country is failing as a nation, and liberals take joy in this. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
I would like to agree with Richie, but I don't. I don't think this is the Democrats at all. I think this is the Republicans. I'm going to tell you why. Because the Republicans actually hold the biggest kind of leverage against all of this. And you know what they are? They're on vacation. If I were Speaker of the House, if it were me, and I had that type of leverage, I would be defunding every DA. As a matter of fact, I'd probably defund the states that are defund the DOJ, the FBI, and the CIA.
Well, this is what should happen. This is serious business that's going on here, and I'm going to throw this out. You guys, by the way, thanks for the call, Andre. Some good points. This is what I think should happen. And again, I live in the real world, not the world of should. And we have indecent people in the Republican Party. You know, it's just the way it is. This is what I believe should happen. I believe that the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, should do what Ron DeSantis does. Ron DeSantis did it twice last week, and he's done it in the past. When you have these radical George Soros prosecutors who misuse their office, you fire them. The governor of Georgia, who's a Republican, should fire Fani Willis, remove her from office, just like DeSantis did in Florida twice last week. Replace her, because they got to nominate an appointment, replace her with a law and order prosecutor who will drop the charges. And if they don't drop the charges, pardon Trump and everyone involved in this. And let's move on and get to the bottom of what's going on here. That's what should happen. All right? That's what should happen in Georgia. And the very fact that we've got a Republican governor in the state of Florida who has an outlaw prosecutor doing this, and what's he doing? Nothing. He's at the beach. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, this Fani Willis, I can understand her being upset because she must know she way outsmarted Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, all these guys are the top brains and attorneys in the country, some of them anyway, and there's no competition. Even if she has she must know, even if she has the whole court system rigged up, it's going to get overturned. So she must be upset that she's going to be looking like an idiot that she brought the case and got
Really? When is what's going to be overturned and when? You know, my goodness, it's not, and it doesn't just don't count on that.
Since it seems like it's dangerous for President Trump to go there, the Secret Service should say no. He's not going to do this over the phone or live through chat.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be going there. But then again, I'm hoping that the attorneys will get together and if he does go, they'll know there's nothing going to be.
Yeah.
Dick Morris is a smart guy. I think he's too nervous. I don't think Trump is.
Well, you know, people need to call on Brian Kemp to remove from office Fani Willis. You know, it happened twice last week here in Florida with DeSantis. He did it twice. Black women, and then he replaced them with people. And he's removed other corrupt people. You know, Ron DeSantis, remember he fired the sheriff of Broward County, removed him from office, an elected official after the Parkland incident. And he removed a prosecutor over in Tampa. He's done this several times. And there's a precedent to do it. Jeb Bush, when he was governor of Florida, removed an election supervisor from Broward County, Mary Oliphant. Remember that? You know, I mean, this has happened many times. And Brian Kemp is twiddling his thumbs. He's a jerk. He's a fake Republican.
Typical Republican who talks a lot and does nothing. He just is. But maybe he'll come out of his.
Maybe.
And maybe this.
I would have already done it. I would have already. And now this was a midnight indictment. It was very late last night. I was in bed. I found out about this when I woke up. Now I know why. I woke up, and my phone was filled with notifications and text messages and all this stuff of what is going on. Did someone, you know, get into an accident? Someone get arrested? And they want me to bail them out? Well, it's pretty close. You know, it's pretty close here, you know, and this is, yeah, it is terrible. It is terrible. And there's so little appreciation in the mainstream media for what this means for our country. You mean to tell me that a man who, other than minor traffic violations, maybe when he was driving his Lambo around Palm Beach in the 80s and 90s, got a speeding ticket or something, maybe, I haven't even heard about him getting speeding tickets. All of a sudden, he's got more charges against him than El Chapo, in more jurisdictions than El Chapo. Come on.
The DA in one of the states said that there was 10,000 fake.
Yeah. This is, listen, he was indicted yesterday. They did a little early because of a lot of reasons, but a lot of it has to do with Iowa over the weekend. I mean, I haven't heard an estimate on how many people were at that fair yet, but it has been reported in multiple sources that it was the largest crowd ever at the Iowa State Fair for one of these events for President Trump. This is what they see. They're trying to stop this. Hey, listen, Doug, appreciate the call. So let me play this clip again, because this one, I got a lot of sound bites. I'm not going to play too many of them, though, today. This one here in particular, though, I will play many times, at least once an hour. Dick Morris, senior advisor to President Trump. He was on NewsMax TV last night with Rob Schmitt.
Just fast forward a touch. What's going to happen is that Trump is indicted now in Fulton County and in Washington, D.C., and he's going to be convicted. There's going to be a biased jury pool. We already know there's a biased prosecutor. In Washington County, the Washington, D.C., Hunter Biden's law partner is the judge, and he's going to go to prison. And he will be elected from president. It will not make any difference at all. He is going to be able to win this election no matter what they throw at him.
You think he's actually going to prison?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, that's Dick Morris, who has the ear of the president, speaks with him every day. So that means that's where Trump's head is at. And here's the thing. Presidents can pardon crimes, but only federal crimes, not state crimes, all right? So, yeah, can't pardon yourself or anyone in state crimes, only federal crimes. It's up to Brian Kemp to step in and do what's right and be a man. Stop selling out and being a wimp. Brian Kemp needs to step up, the governor of Georgia, and be a man for once in his life, all right? Fire Fani Willis and replace her with a law and order prosecutor who will drop the charges. If they don't drop the charges, pardon Trump and everybody else on this indictment list. And then we'll deal with the injustice that happened there after. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hi, this is Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers. Are you looking to sell your home without the stress of a bunch of strangers walking through your home and having to make all kinds of repairs? If you want to sell your home fast and easy without a realtor and save thousands in commissions and closing costs, call me at 561-570-7070. We follow all social distancing guidelines and can make you a cash offer over the phone without having to visit your home. We'll do our absolute best to make your home selling experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. You can even get a $10,000 cash advance before the closing and stay in your home after the closing, so you don't need to worry about quickly moving out. Whether you have a damaged fixer-upper home or a beautiful home that doesn't need any repairs, we can buy it. If you want to sell your home fast and easy, call us today for a free offer. 561-570-7070. That's 561-570-7070. 561-570-7070.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
If you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Darren Listovsky, DC, owner of Pivotal Health and Wellness. Dr. Listovsky, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the legs and feet.
And what are the symptoms?
Oh, well, thank you, Deborah. Appreciate it.
Are numbness,
If you're not, please subscribe to my channel.
Coldness in hands or feet, and problems with balance.
This is the most pro-Trump place you'll find anywhere, guys.
And we have seen great results.
Call 561-287-3255 today. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Space is limited. Call 561-287-3255. 561-287-3255.
The free screening is a $149 value. The patient and any other person responsible for payment has the right to refuse to pay, cancel payment for any other service, examination, or treatment that is performed as a result of and within 72 hours of responding to the advertisement for the free, discounted fee, or reduced fee service, examination, or treatment.
Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise. And you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited, but the rest of you are. We leave April 27th on board the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of celebrity cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties, we'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll go back to the phone shortly at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You may have noticed a couple of new recorded commercials, and I think we're the only radio station that does this anywhere. Our callers, our listeners actually do commercials on this program. That you heard the new one for Dr. Gupta, our dentist, with Richie the bus driver. We have another new commercial that's recorded with a listener who called in and talked about what great work Dr. Appleton did relieving their 90-year-old mother of pain. You know, and all of the sponsors that you hear us doing commercials for, either I use them, Steve used them, or we both use them before we tell them about tell you about them. And there have been times it has happened when we have turned people down because we used their services or had a meal at the restaurant, whatever it was, and it just wasn't up to the par that we want to recommend. And that's why, you know, you have such great experience is with all of our sponsors. I want to tell you guys about the Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera offer with professional installation. This is for a limited time offer. I have this camera. You will love it. Okay, my daughter got one at her new house. If you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050, that's 1-833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone, all right? Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. And if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050, 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. This is for a limited time offer, so call now, be one of the first 40 listeners, and you'll get it, all right? 1-833-283-5050. All right, of course, we're talking about the injustice in Georgia, the midnight indictment of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Barbara in Baltimore.
Hey, all right. Well, not too good. I mean, America's fallen. I mean, yeah.
It's a dark day, and that's why I had to call you, because I am really, I feel emotionally drained by what's happening here. And I'm a pretty strong person. You know, I'm pretty resilient. But this is getting me so angry. I'm so angry that these prosecutors that are going after Donald Trump are also black, just like me. These are my people that are doing this, and so ignorant to do this, and showing just how partisan they are. What I don't know how un-American they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. It's sad, but it is also bringing out the best and the most from the people in this country. Donald Trump is not going to jail. You know, I couldn't listen to Dick Morris. I love Dick Morris. Don't get me wrong. I really like him. Donald Trump is not going to jail. I will not own that. I will not even think that.
Well, listen, listen. I'm glad you called in, because I'm particularly disgusted by Fani Willis, because, and I know you're aware. I mean, you're in Baltimore. I know what corrupt Democrats did during Jim Crow to blacks. They misused the courts, they misused the sheriffs, and they misused county prosecutors to persecute innocent black men who were, by the way, Republicans. And now we have black Democrats doing the same thing that those old racist sheriffs and prosecutors and judges were doing back in the 1930s.
Absolutely. Here's what I think is going to happen here. And this is what I believe. This is what I'm praying for. And I think God is going to give people. I usually get my prayers answered. And that's just how I'm going to look at this thing. His numbers are going to go through the roof. Ron DeSantis firing all those prosecutors, that was a good thing that he did. I'm glad that he did it. Kemp is not that kind of man. Kemp is a real rhino. I don't believe he's got the guts to do it. And I think he and Roethlisberger, or whatever that guy's name, I think it is Roethlisberger. I think it's his Secretary of State. Both of them, I think they're done as far as political careers. they are finished. Their names are going to be dirt in this country from this day forward. If they don't do something about this and stop this, I couldn't believe her father was a Pantherman. Do you know her father was in the Black Panthers?
Well, you know, and this is the real Black Panthers, not these guys that run around, the new Black Panthers. The real Black Panthers, yeah, he was a founding member. And that's, you know, being raised by someone like that is like being raised by a Ku Klux Klansman. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I know, because being Black, people say things around us. They don't think about the fact that we could be Republican or conservative. And I know exactly what she heard. I know exactly how she grew up. And that's one of the biggest problems still in the Black.
And I'll tell you something about, because I was reading up on her early this morning. She doesn't denounce any of that. She's proud that her father was a Black Panther during the most radical period of the Black Panthers, and he never left the Black Panthers. He just went to law school so he could represent them when they would get jammed up because they were criminals. You know, I don't hold people accountable for what their parents or grandparents or forefathers did. However, if my father had been an active member of the Ku Klux Klan and an attorney for the Ku Klux Klan, on occasion, I would have to publicly denounce that during the course of conversations. And if you out there in this listening audience, how many people have you heard this lie? It's a lie that in the 1920s, Donald Trump's dad was at some Klan event. They're talking something 100 years ago was relevant, which isn't even true. How can this not be relevant? Yeah, come on.
You can tell by the way he's grown up, what he's become. Racist. He's not a racist, and he wasn't raised by a racist. He would not have done the things that he did do during the 4 years that he was in office for the Black community. Look how he commuted sentences and got people out who have been in jail for long periods of time for nonviolent crimes. And have you heard anything at all about?
That's right. That's right. I want to mention one thing before we break. You know, the fires in Maui. It's god awful. I don't know. Well, yeah.
Worked in that for Continental Forest Industries. The forest has to be made.
Well, yeah. Well, so listen. So Maui is burning. There are about 100 dead. Many of them are children. Okay, and it's just sad. It's sad. And Biden was asked about it yesterday. What about the people that are dying? No comment. No comment. I bet you if Ukraine was on fire, he would be involved and have comments. But Obama tells us that he was born in Hawaii. He's been telling us for years that he was born in Hawaii. I've never seen a guy who has no empathy for their home state like Obama. I'm almost starting to question whether or not he's really from Hawaii. Hawaiians are dying. Maui is burning. I'm not joking. And Obama has done nothing for what he says is his home state. How could come on? How could he not? How could he not have a comment? How could he not get involved? Obama
doesn't care.
No. Listen, I got to run, Barbara. I'm late for the break, but thanks for the call. All right, we'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the latest forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. We have another heat advisory.
This is insane.
Area-wide, it'll feel like between 105 and 110. Actual highs surging into the low 90s with a chance isolated of some storms late. I'm WPB Out 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County.
I mean, I just have not seen a disaster at this level happen in America where there is like no empathy from the federal government. What's going on in Hawaii is awful. And not everyone in Hawaii is rich like Oprah, okay? There's a lot of poverty in Hawaii. You know, and where the hell is Biden and Obama on this? You know, if there was a fire in Ukraine, they'd be all over it and be commenting. Mm-hmm. Okay, we are going to come back. Okay.
Enjoy free admission and parking, prizes, great food and drink options, and more in air-conditioned comfort. Plus, catch all the exciting OTB action and poker action with big games on our sports TVs. We also have a full line of great events coming up. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
No. Very little surprises me. Very little surprises me. I was talking about this on my podcast last night. The reason that Biden doesn't care about Maui, or Obama either, is because they can't steal from Hawaii like they do from all the Ukraine funding. You know, when they had the earthquake in Haiti, they were all over that because the Clinton Foundation went down there and started stealing billions of dollars for their friends. Can't do that in Hawaii. So they don't care. There's no profit in it for them. Right? Okay.
Staples presents a lesson in back to school
Mm-hmm.
savings. Your local Staples now accepts Amazon returns.
Exactly.
Your Amazon order at Staples, you receive a coupon for $10 off your next $30 Staples
Mm.
purchase, so you can save even more on top of
Hey, it's Brian.
like right now, 2 pocket
Good, good. You ready for us? We have about 2 minutes.
pencils are each just 50 cents. Staples gives you more ways to save even more.
I can call you back at 7:45. I thought 7:30. I can call you back at 7:45. Okay, and I'll tell you, probably want to talk more about what happened, you know, in Georgia with Trump than, especially since you were with him. Okay, I'll call you back at 7:45. All right, take care. That's Laura Loomer. I was just talking to.
Celebrity cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties, we'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
After the next break. Luna is doing great. She's really bonding with us. 3 weeks, we've had her, 3 weeks yesterday we had her, and she's starting to get out of her stray head a little bit more, a little bit more each day. She's not hiding as much around the house. Yep. It's just disgusting what's going on. It really is. I mean, it's so surreal. Mm-hmm. All right, coming back. All right, callers on hold, stand by. Our number 1-888-465-2631. Of course, we're talking about the injustice in Georgia, the midnight indictment against President Trump and 18 others, including Mark Meadows and Mayor Giuliani, 30 unindicted co-conspirators who have remained nameless in Georgia. It's really hard to believe this has even happened, isn't it? I mean, these four things, isn't it really? It's hard to believe it's even real. I don't think it's really sunk in with me what's happened here. And I know people are like, oh, another indictment, another day, like it's no big deal. This is different. Fani Willis has got something to prove. The sheriff has said there's going to be a mugshot. They're going to do the whole thing. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Bill from Sanford. How are you today?
Yeah, as bad as I'm not doing too well. I'm not feeling too good. And I can't imagine anybody is after last night.
Same here, but I was thinking that if Fulton County had a Republican DA, we'd be talking about Stacey Abrams.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't want her charged either. Listen, there's all kinds of anytime there's something going on, all President Trump did was use the legal system to make a case. I give you an example, right? If you're an attorney and and you got a client that hires you who's a murderer, you defend them. You plead not guilty. They didn't do it. You make the case, and either you get a not guilty or a guilty verdict. That's how the system works. I don't understand this idea that when you use the system and challenge things in courts and in legislative bodies and you lose, all of a sudden you're a criminal. This is a whole new thing.
Yeah, that's the problem that we have today, and it's very sad. But, like Bill O'Reilly said, you don't justify bad behavior with bad behavior. So what I said is
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I know people are talking about Al Gore, in the 2000 recount, people forget this. That went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. We went past Thanksgiving. It went on for a long time, and people forget. And I don't remember anyone ever going after Gore, and eventually he said, okay, just like Trump did. And I'm listening to our news. They're saying every speech, every comment, Trump said this. I remember one press conference President Trump had at the White House during all of this, and he was asked by a reporter. I don't remember what reporter asked him this, but and you guys will remember. They don't play this clip because it doesn't fit their narrative. A reporter asked President Trump, he was sitting down, it was probably, I don't know if it was in the East Room or the Oval, I don't remember, because they never rerun this clip. They don't want you to see it, and it's probably hard to find. But they said if the House certifies the election and declares Biden the winner, will you leave the White House? Remember, and he said, of course. And he said, of course I'll leave. You understand it? He said, of course I'll leave. I remember that like it was yesterday. And just like when they play the January 6th speech that he gave, they cut out peacefully. They never show you that clip. I haven't searched for that clip. I haven't thought about it until today when I hear all the corporate media say every comment, every speech. He said that. No, that's not true. He said, of course I'll leave.
Play it.
No, of course not, because it doesn't fit their... They suppress evidence. And I bet you that clip is very difficult to find if it's anywhere. It's one of those things that get disappeared from the internet.
Oh, yes. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's what you don't say.
Well, yeah, and I hope someone over at Mar-a-Lago is listening this morning. I know they're up in Bedminster right now, but you know what I mean. If that's an important clip that people need to see.
Well, yeah, it shows how honest Trump is.
There was a process, and he said if the process doesn't work out in his favor, he said, of course I'll leave. Of course I'll leave. He said, those were, yeah. If anybody has that clip, get it to me, because I'd love to play it.
Good show, Brian.
All right, take care. Yeah, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I think also one thing that kind of burns me with the coverage of these cases against Trump, when I hear the legal pundits on television talking about how to handle this and everything, these four cases are not legal cases. They're political stunts. They're political moves, and each and every one of them is illegitimate. Why do you think we've never had a president indicted before? Now we got one indicted 4 times. Why has there not been one indicted before? Why do you think that is? You know, and we've had creeps as president. You know, when President Ford was no friend of Richard Nixon's, he pardoned Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon did some crimes, right? He wasn't involved in the Watergate break-in. What he was involved in was that slush fund to send them away so they could not be available to the press. He was trying to cover everything up. And when President Ford pardoned him, it was people, Democrats in particular in the media, were ticked off. And President Ford pardoned Nixon because he didn't want to put the country through that. An arrest, a trial, an indictment of a president, because it's so divisive. And now we've got 4 cases against one president, none of which should even be there. Nixon was actually doing something. John Dean's on CNN, and he says this is worse than what Nixon did. Well, what Nixon did really wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of a deal in the scheme of things. But President Trump did nothing. No, what Nixon did was worse than Trump because Trump did nothing wrong. Trump did nothing illegal. Richard Nixon did crime. Minor crime, but he was doing crime. President Trump has not ever committed a crime. Now, this Iowa State Fair yesterday, or day before yesterday, that you saw in your news, that may be what finally got this indictment moved up. You know, that massive crowd, the largest crowd in the history of the Iowa State Fair, showing up for this president in a way that he's never done before. And some of the press coverage I was telling you yesterday, CNN and others were saying, oh, he broke protocol, and he did what you're not supposed to do, and all this stuff. The left, the Uniparty, and all these creeps, Biden, the White, all of them, saw the Iowa State Fair on Saturday. And it freaked them out. They don't understand. They just don't understand why after all this, he's still this popular. And now they're going to have TV cameras in the Georgia courtroom. That means next week, during the indictment, that's going to be televised. And what the Democrats and the Uniparty think is that when we see Trump, all the president's men, some of them are ladies, when we see them all indicted together, that we're going to flip and we're going to turn and we're going to say enough. We need DeSantis now. It's not going to happen. He's going to become more popular, stronger, and go up in the polls after this happens. And I'm glad they're going to televise this. When the American people see this, you know, when he went to New York, we didn't get a lot of video, but we got enough that really showed you the disgust that in New York City. When he went up there for that Soros prosecutor moment, remember in New York they had a pool camera on that door? Do you remember? And we were watching a door for hours and hours. Right before President Trump came through, one of the officers from the courthouse came through right before him and didn't hold the door open for him and let it slam on President Trump's face. Do you remember that? And I'm glad that happened, because we got to see the anger that these Democrats have for him. You put a camera during an indictment of President Trump on TV next week, and these people in Georgia are angry. The question is, will they be able to contain their anger? Okay, I would say probably not. And when the American people see that, this is going to become more real. You know, one of the things that I've learned over the years with this is until people see something on television, oftentimes it's not real to them. And when we see an out-of-control prosecutor, an out-of-control sheriff, an angry judge and bailiff and everything else towards President Trump on television, and great people like Mayor Giuliani, who's an American war hero from the War on Terror from 9/11, right there on the front lines of Ground Zero, that's going to wake a lot of people up in this country to see exactly what's going on. And that's when he's going to have the highest poll ratings ever of a candidate for president of the United States after that. All right, now we're going to take our last break of the second hour. We got a guest coming up after the break, someone who was with the president over the weekend, and I'm very interested in getting their perspective. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Call us on hold. Stand by. We'll take more of your calls as the show goes on. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch.
Unreal. Gotta have it here.
All natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone, night sweats gone. I've met with
Really?
before and after hormone replacement pellet
Okay.
therapy, Dr. Matez, and when I first meet them, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet them again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Are you ready to elevate your tea experience? Look no further than
Okay.
Daily Tea Service. Join us Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and on weekends from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Where am I?
Time like no other. Sip on a variety of exquisite teas, including Proper Group's very own blend. Bring your clients, your friends, and your family. Reservations are required, so book now at propergrip.com. You don't want to miss this unique experience at the Zen.
Are you living your best life? Are you feeling the way you know you should be? This is John.
All right.
Lighthouse Medical Center. Our hormone optimization therapy programs.
Hey, it's Brian. Great. All right, hold on. That's Loomer.
Sexual vigor and excitement are great. Sleeping the way they should without disturbances and reducing their symptoms of aging. Our all-natural hormone optimization therapy is precise, easy, and effective from day one. Office visits are usually less than 5 times per year, and the cost is only $150 per month for most patients. Let our medical team get you optimized and living your best life. Our family medical practice has been serving South Florida for over 71 years. Let us show you what personalized medical care and being treated like family
Cool.
feels like. Call us at 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. Or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
Hi, it's Katie from Will For You. I am so excited to let you in on some exciting news. Our Jupiter store has moved to a new location that's double the size. Come in and see us on the...
If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll get back to the calls in a little bit.
We strive to make buying new flooring for your home friendly, fresh, and convenient. We offer lots of options from America's top brands and always have the best pricing. From one local to another, Will Floor You is your hometown flooring store that has it all. Will Floor You in Jupiter store and Will Floor the letter.
All right, here we go.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all, and on the line. You know, listen, we're in a very serious situation right now. This is not a joke. What's going on here? We have corrupt public officials that are misusing their office, misusing their badges, persecuting a man who's guilty of nothing, the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. And on the line, we have Laura Loomer. And I'm glad to have you today, Laura Loomer, especially since you were with the president over the weekend. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man. You know, so, you know, you were with the president over the weekend at Bedminster. He knew this was coming down. What's his mood like?
You know, honestly, the president was in high spirits. He doesn't allow these things to bother him, and if he does a great job of hiding it because for those listening, I ended up giving a speech this weekend to the New York Young Republican Club, and I thought that the president was going to be in Iowa all weekend. He spent the entire day on Saturday at the fair, but then I ended up extending my trip because I wanted to see what it was like at Bedminster. I had never gone. And I had just bought a general admission ticket, and President Trump recognized me when he saw me on the golf course, and he came over to me, and he invited me up to his private suite at the Live Golf Tournament, and so I was able to spend the entire day. I mean, talk about a surprise, right? with President Trump sitting next to him in his private suite. And he was surrounded by pro athletes, his family, his grandkids. It was really nice. Jared and Ivanka were there. So he was just really happy to see his grandkids and spend time with all these athletes. And as we know, President Trump's favorite sport is golf. And he seemed great. He was having a great time. We were laughing, and one of the best days of my life. I'll never forget that day.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's like you won the lottery. So here we wake up this morning and we find out that this daughter of a Black Panther, which was a racist terrorist organization, Fani Willis in Georgia, is demanding that President Trump surrender himself for arrest next week. What's going on here?
So yesterday we saw, it was kind of a bizarre turn of events. I know you're always following social media. So there was a letter that came out of the Fulton County DA's office yesterday where it seemed like the charges, right, these 10 indictments had been released early. And President Trump's legal team had released a statement talking about how, it just shows how this is more of a witch hunt than anything, and totally inappropriate, right before the grand jury in Fulton County could actually deliver these indictments to the judge. And so there was a bit of a fiasco on that regard, and so they were pretty much forced to do it last night, and they ended up staying later than expected. And of course, we all saw late last night around midnight when they released it. And so you have President Donald Trump being indicted, Rudy Giuliani is being indicted, Sidney Powell's being indicted, his former lawyer Jenna Ellis, along with several other individuals, and they have until August 25th to surrender themselves. And she put a warrant out for President Trump's arrest. And, they're celebrating. Inside the office, her office yesterday, the sheriff in Fulton County was actually smiling ear to ear during interviews with reporters, saying, yeah, well, we're going to be making sure that every single person on this list is treated fairly, and so they're all going to get cuffed. They're all going to get mugshots. So they're gloating about how they're going to actually force Donald Trump to take a mugshot in Fulton County. And I say go ahead, because I don't know about you, Brian, but I can't wait to get my Donald Trump mugshot mug.
Oh, yeah.
Trump shot T-shirt. I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah, it'll pay for the whole campaign. Now, it looks to me, at the Iowa State Fair over the weekend, which had the largest turnout in the history of the Iowa State Fair, and President Trump came in like the boss and took it over. And I saw Ron DeSantis, who looked so defeated over the weekend. It looked like finally Ron DeSantis realized he's unelectable forever. And you were the first to catch Ron. I didn't believe you, Laura Loomer. You said he's not MAGA, he's fake MAGA. And it's like, there's no way. And then we find
on the air, I couldn't.
I will never question you again, Laura Loomer. You were right. You were first. You knew he was fake MAGA before anyone else, and you sniffed him out of that when he wouldn't let MAGA at that book signing. But it looks to me like Ron DeSantis, I know he's got the debate next week, this ridiculous debate on Fox, but it looks like he may be dropping out sooner rather than later. What do you think?
I don't know if he's really going to drop out, because think of it. He knew from the get-go he had no chance against Donald Trump, okay? This was a money-suck operation. They're going to be draining collectively between DeSantis, Chris Christie, and all these other rhinos in the race who are trying to sabotage Donald Trump. We're talking about $1 billion to $1.5 billion in GOP donor money that otherwise could have been spent fighting these ridiculous witch hunts against Donald Trump. They could have been spent laying out an effective counter mail-in ballot fraud strategy to secure elections, bolster election integrity. And so he knows what he's doing. He's just trying to divert resources away from Donald Trump. And then what do they say? Oh, look, the Trump campaign doesn't have a lot of cash on hand. Well, when you're being attacked every single day with lawfare by the deep state as a form of election interference, of course, you're going to have to spend some money. But Donald Trump is up in the polls. I was with him. We were talking about how amazing it is. He's up over 50 points nationally. He totally cupped Ron DeSantis this weekend. If you saw at the Iowa State Fair, he was flipping hamburgers and sticking toothpicks into eggs while Donald Trump was flying his plane over the Iowa State Fair.
And there were people that didn't even know who the hell Ron DeSantis was. They were chanting, literally chanting, "We want Trump," when Governor Kim Reynolds and Ron DeSantis were sitting for their fair side chat. So he was absolutely humiliated. Ron DeSantis is trying way too hard, and I've never seen such a disastrous, right?
Yeah.
Disastrous campaign in my life. It's being described by many political consultants and GOP strategists as one of the most poorly strategized presidential campaigns ever.
Well, and DeSantis yesterday in an interview said he was going to lay off Disney after all of this. He's given up on that fight.
It's what I told you a couple months ago. I said it's all a PR show, okay? It's all a PR gimmick. I'll say one thing, okay? Ron DeSantis has no personality. All the money in the world is not enough to buy him the personality transplant he so desperately needs. But the best thing that he has, better than any other candidate in the race, is his PR team. He has a PR team that has been able to manufacture accomplishments. So people around the country seem to think that we have a great governor when he's actually not so great. Okay, we had lockdowns. He used taxpayer funds to fight Disney. We have a homeowner insurance crisis, the highest homeowner insurance rates in the entire country. Okay, we better hope that there's not going to be a hurricane this season, because the governor seems to be absentee, doesn't give a damn about Floridians and the fact that one more hurricane and we're going to have a housing market crash here in this state. It's probably going to trigger a nationwide housing market crash. So we have a lot of problems here in the state of Florida. We're being invaded by Chinese illegal alien invaders in Florida, okay, through a route that was recently discovered by federal authorities via the Bahamas. And what is Ron DeSantis doing about this, okay?
Well, he was flipping hamburgers at the Iowa State Fair, it would seem.
Want to be Kennedys. Okay, his wife seems to think she's the next Jackie O, when they really just need to drop out of the race, endorse Donald Trump, and come back to Florida and do the job that he was elected to do. That we're paying him to do.
Well, we'll never trust him again, but it would go a long way if he dropped out, especially after what's happening in Georgia right now, and endorsed President Trump, as should everyone else who's running. Anyone who's running, as far as I'm concerned, against Trump in the primary, they're with Schmitt and Fani Willis. So next week, Trump's been told, as all the rest, that they've got to surrender themselves. So he surrenders himself. We get the mug shot. You know, there's only so high he can go in the polls. I don't know. Can he go any higher in the polls, President Trump, than he is already?
Well, look, every single time you see this time and time again when he's been indicted, that he shoots up in the polls about 10 points. So he posted on Truth Social the other day, and he's not back on Twitter, okay? So if you're listening and you want to get communication from President Trump, Truth Social is doing great. Their numbers are through the roof, okay? You have to go on Truth Social, and you'll see he said the other day, one more indictment is all I need to win the presidency. And look, people see this woman for what she is. She campaigned, talking about Fani Willis, of course. She campaigned on trying to get Trump. That was her campaign message. If you go back and you watch the videos, she has a history of corruption in the Fulton County DA's office. The Trump campaign and the Super PAC just released an incredible ad about this. You can see it on TV if you watch. And people need to know. People need to understand how corrupt these political officials are, because there's no substance to any of this. Read the indictment?
Yeah. I read it when they leaked it. When they leaked it before the grand jury came back, I read it. Yeah.
On the list, they indicted some of them for renting rooms. Renting rooms can now get you indicted in the United States of America. So, am I going to be indicted because I'm going to Mike Lindell's conference? And when I interview with you, I'm flying to Missouri. Is it now a crime to rent a venue to talk about the integrity of our elections? Because
maybe.
It now is.
You know, also in that indictment is very strange. We're almost out of time, so I'm not going to go through this too much. But some of the charges include watching Right Side Broadcasting and NewsMax are some of the charges, too. It's very bizarre. Let me ask you, do you think Donald Trump is going to go to jail in Georgia?
Look, I don't know what's going to happen, right? But I will say that if he does, it's going to just be a political witch hunt as it is, and it doesn't disqualify him. You see all these fake news narratives that are being passed around. It doesn't matter if Donald Trump goes to jail because you're still allowed to run for president even if you do go to jail.
That's right.
I think that, he's building a stronger legal team. I think that regardless of what happens, we just have to keep letting people know that this narrative that Ron DeSantis and others are saying is, we can't have a convicted felon who's going to be on the ballot. We can't run a candidate who's going to be running from jail. Okay, if it gets to that point, actually you can. We can vote for Donald Trump if he ends up going to a jail cell, and he can pardon himself when he wins the nomination.
That's right. So, Laura Loomer, how can people find you, follow you, get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can follow me on my Substack. It's lauraloomer.substack.com. It's free to subscribe. And you can also follow me on Twitter, Truth Social, Gab, and Jeff.
All right, at Laura Loomer on all of those platforms. All right, well, tell President Trump I said hello next time you see him.
I will.
All right, take care. Laura Loomer, thanks so much. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. We'll be back with your calls at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by...
Oh, man, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is the most pro-Trump place on earth right here on this program. I promise you. Okay. Yeah, Laura's always great. She's always great. Okay. There was this one article I was looking for. I had it this morning. I don't know where I put it. Let me see here. Got to find this article. Hold on. Yeah, there's one of the crimes they charged these people with was watching Right Side Broadcasting, NewsMax, and others. And I can't find the article now. I know I tweeted it. Here it is. I'm going to read this on the radio and get back. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is in the indictment. It's in the Gateway Pundit. Georgia DA Fani Willis indictment includes Trump asking supporters to watch Newsmax, Right Side Broadcasting, and One America News. Can you believe that? Let me I'll tweet it later because I think I already tweeted, but I'm serious. It's in the Gateway Pundit. And it's in the charges. Look at, on or about the 30th day of December 2020, Donald John Trump tweeted, check out One America News and Newsmax and many more. Then here's Act 101. On or about the 30th day of December 2020, Donald John Trump tweeted, watch live on RSBN. I'm not kidding. Can you believe this? It's insanity. I mean, these people are out of their freaking minds. Yeah. Boy, oh boy. You know, the thing is with these people, when President Trump calls them communist, they are communist, and they don't even see anything wrong with this because, as far as they're concerned, OAN, RSBN, Newsmax, that's wrong information, and you shouldn't be exposed to it because they disagree with it. Isn't that insane? It's in the actual indictment. If you pull up the indictment, there's different acts, criminal acts. It's Act 100 mentions OAN and Newsmax, and Act 101 mentions Right Side Broadcasting. I know. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, I'm good, but I wouldn't even, come on. I want to take some calls when we get back. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Everyone like the video. And, of course, we take calls live on the air. It's toll-free no matter where you're listening. State-run media, no doubt about it. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's our toll-free number, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. The governor of Georgia. They're not rhinos. They're rats. Republicans against Trump. Rats. I like that. You guys like rats better than rhinos? Republicans against Trump. I like that better. Everyone should wear their MAGA hats today. Really should. In support of President Trump. Yeah. The Twilight Zone. I've been trying to get that going for a while. Republicans against Trump. Rats. It's much better than rhino. Rhino just seems too mild of a word. You know? Mm-hmm. That is great, yeah.
Join the True Oldies team this Tuesday from noon to 2 p.m. at Pure Wellness Medical.
That was cool how Trump picked Laura Loomer out of the crowd. That was...
Enjoy 50% off select procedures, as well as a chance to win free cruises.
That's amazing.
Replacement, weight management, dermal fillers, hydrofacials, pure PRP facials, and facelifts, and so much more. And yes, we are raffling off free cruises for two. See you Tuesday from noon to 2 p.m. at Pure Wellness Medical in Boca.
All right, we're coming back.
Suite 200B at Attic Medical Aesthetics.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Laura Loomer, obviously always good and interesting. And before I take the calls, this is true in the indictment, okay? This article's in the Gateway Pundit. This is how crazy and out of control Fani Willis is. Georgia DA, this is the headline, Georgia DA Fani Willis indictment includes Trump asking supporters to watch NewsMax, Right Side Broadcasting, and One American News. Not kidding. And if you go to the indictment, there's different acts listed. Act 100. I'm reading from the indictment now. This is insane. We're in East Germany right now. Do you understand this? We're in Russia in the 1950s when Stalin was running the place. Act 100. This is from Fani Willis's indictment. I'm not kidding. This is not a joke. Act 100. On or about the 30th day of December 2020, Donald John Trump tweeted from the Twitter account @RealDonaldTrump, check out One American News, NewsMax, and many more. Act 101. On or about the 30th day of December 2020, Donald Trump tweeted from the Twitter account @RealDonaldTrump, watch live via Right Side Broadcasting. This is nuts. You know, when Rush, the great Rush Limbaugh, talked about state-controlled media, I don't see any charges against watching Fox. You're on the air. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm going to be one of your favorites today. Jay from Jersey.
Yeah, Jay.
And everybody get their little thing on. Okay, I kind of wasn't going to call today because I know y'all are pretty well crying right now. But I heard that a woman, or if you want to call her whatever she is, little Uncle Tom to me, Barbara, who brought up the fact that the DA's father, which you brought it up too, is part of the Black Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be a problem.
Yes.
This woman has went to college and earned her degree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Well, she went to a racially segregated university.
And she went.
Uh-huh.
It don't matter where she went.
What does that mean? So what does that mean?
That means she went. She has a degree and she has accomplished herself. Can you
Ted Bundy graduated college. I don't understand what does a college... President Trump. Graduated college. Does a college degree wipe out any sins and crimes? I don't understand.
Does your college degree wipe out your sins of what you're doing? Okay, that's one.
Listen, hold on. The Black Panthers are and I'm not talking about these wannabes. He was one of the original founding Black Panthers. They were a violent terrorist organization.
I'm glad he was an original. Good. That's a good thing for me. I'm trying to figure out which part y'all don't get. Number one, we all heard the tape in Georgia when it. That's number one. Number two, we don't want Trump. I don't care if they set him up.
Hold on a second. You need to go no further. You said you don't care if they set him up. So you believe that it is totally justified to entrap and set someone up for crimes that send them to prison?
You heard me. I said we all heard.
No. You said you don't care if they set him up. Why would you say that? Where did that thought come from? That's interesting. So you believe it's possible they set him up?
No.
But you said you don't. Why would you say you don't care if they set him up? I don't understand.
No.
What? No. You said it. Why would you say that?
We all heard that.
And then you said, I don't care if they set him up.
I don't care what they got to do to get this man out. But we all heard.
Wow.
What?
No. I don't care about the tape. I just think as an American, I have a problem with law enforcement setting people up, but you don't.
Yeah, who set up? There's a bunch of black men sitting in jail, and not every single one of them are guilty.
Name one. Name an innocent man in prison.
You name one.
I'm not making the accusation. You're saying that prisons are filled with innocent people. Give me a name.
I was going to name one. Guess what? I didn't say I was going to name one, did I?
Oh, so you can't name one.
Did I say I was going to name one?
So you can't name. Then how do you know there's innocent people in prison?
And then you had the nerve to say her father's on that. But at the same time, it's proven that Donald J. Trump's father was a KKK.
No, excuse me. No, that's not true. That is not true.
That is true.
No, not true. It's not true.
Men.
No. What Klansman? What was his father's name even? Do you even know?
I don't know what your father's name is.
Yeah. What Klansman did you ever see President Trump's? Klansman. Can't you back up anything you say? Where is this photograph of Trump's father with a Klansman?
You're lucky I know your name. I know your name because I call and harass you.
You think you harass me? You think you're harassing me?
Oh, you hate me even asking my questions. You hate that.
No.
Laura Loomer said to Trump, these charges, it's state charges, you do realize he can't pardon himself off the state charges.
Yes.
He can't pardon himself off the other charges.
Yes.
Definitely can't pardon himself off the state charges. Are y'all dumb?
Yeah, but you said that you don't care if they set him up. So that says it all. Thanks for the call. Oh, man. Did you hear that? He says he doesn't care if they set Trump up. That's what that's the mindset you're dealing with on the left. That's Fani Willis. That's her mindset. That's Jack Schmitt. That's his mindset. That's Merrick Garland's mindset. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Can't believe you didn't hang up earlier. That guy is a joke. He said it's okay to set up the president of the United States.
And he doesn't care if they did it.
That's what we're dealing with. That's the evil in the liberals. They're so brainwashed.
He slipped.
Like what Laura Loomer said, I'm sorry, my allergies are bad, but all the rhinos are going to take that money that they're collecting and use it against Trump. And any money coming into the Republican Party is supposed to go to the Republican nomination, which is Trump. And I bet you we should follow that money trail of all those guys running for president, see what they're doing with that money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, boy, Jeff, I tell you. Listen, Laura Loomer, she said that the president seemed to be in fine spirits, not a worry in the world. And, I'm not happy about anything that's going on. But if Trump's not worried, should we be worried? I mean, he's the one that's facing the jail. If he's not concerned, if he's not worried, should you and I be worried?
That was my next point, Brian. President Trump has not had a hair on his neck ruffled. He has been steadfast and focused, and he's not worried one bit, and I'm not, because I believe this. President Trump is the smartest man to ever run for president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one smarter. There's no one tougher, because no man on this planet could put up with what he has put up with and stand tall.
Yeah.
And is a man's man, and I pray for him. He is the man for this time in American history to be president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him and God be with him, because this guy is awesome.
Ll right, Jeff, take care. Jeff, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Wow, great call from Jeff. There's only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Only one opening on the board, where I just let go of Jeff from Maine. Oh, there just went Jeff's line, just filled up. So every line on the board is lit. After the break, we'll get back to the calls. I want to tell you quickly, though, about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mr. Mike Lindell. It's been hot. It is the summertime, and this has been really one of the worst summers I remember. It's not so humid. I'm missing the humidity. We have that dry heat, and I sleep on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology. If you have a lumpy, bumpy mattress, turn your entire mattress into a MyPillow and order your 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It's 40% off and free shipping with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, KANE. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. I read your book over the weekend, Barry, and it's very informative.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's really designed to be a guide to help people who, maybe people, who have aging parents, but they also have other responsibilities, and they have kids in high school or college, and they're, raising their own family, and it's just kind of a guide as to, what are some of the issues that come up and how to deal with them. So,
It really is, and that I've talked to you about so many aspects of what you do at the Siegel Law Group, and when I was reading your book, I learned a lot. Every paragraph is filled with useful information.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm excited. It's my first book, and I know that it's up on Amazon now. It's also there's a link to it on our website at SiegelLawGroup.com, and so we're very excited about that. And it's something I have wanted to do for a long time. And there may be a few more books in me that we may be talking about over the next few years.
Awesome.
We'll go from there.
Awesome. So what do you have for us, Barry? Other than the great book?
Well, it's just about how life is so unpredictable, and how really we need to just be thankful for every day we have. I had quite a weekend. On one evening, I was celebrating a person's 70th birthday, a friend's 70th birthday, at a very nice party. And then later in the weekend, unfortunately, I was at a 19-year-old's funeral.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Which was, just absolutely horrible, of course, and it just kind of shows you how unpredictable things are, and
boy,
and that's why I'm saying about how we have to be thankful for every day, and just
absolutely, yeah.
Prepared and always prepare for the worst, but just live life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at the Siegel Law Group, if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, you get a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. And no matter where you are located in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. Their primary office is in Boca, but have offices throughout South Florida in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. You can give them a call, and it's toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782, and online at SiegelLawGroup.com. And at SiegelLawGroup.com, you'll see the link there for Attorney Barry Siegel's new book that's just out. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week.
All right, thank you so much.
Back after this.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back, one and all. And if you're on hold standby, I'm going to go back to the phones in just a moment. I just want to say this. A lot of people say, why do you talk to these people like Jay from Jersey and Renee from Harlem? I can't, who was it? Was that Jay from Jersey or Jay from Jersey I was talking to? See how important you are to me, Jay? I forgot who I was talking to. It's instructive talking to these liberals, to these Democrats, because every once in a while, they slip. And Jay from Jersey, did you hear what he said? I don't care if they set Trump up, he said, as long as they get him. And that's what you're dealing with Jack Smith, Merrick Garland, Joe Biden, Fani Willis, and everyone else, okay? All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Roz. How you doing?
All right, Roz.
Two things, Brian. One, this Jay from Jersey is filled with so much hatred and filth, and he calls us idiots for watching you, but yet he watches you. So he's a hypocrite on top of everything. And, I would just like to say to him, you know what he's saying and doing is against God, okay? God doesn't like dirty like that. And number two, where is the White House? Where are the Republicans?
Well, listen. The Maui is burning down. Biden's asked about it. He has no comment on the death and destruction in Hawaii. So, I mean, that's what, my Lord, that's what you're dealing with. But, Jay from Jersey, he thinks the same way as Fani Willis. I don't care if we got to set him up.
Let me tell you something. You know what's going to happen? God says in the Bible, and I told you this before, anybody who digs a hole for somebody else to fall into will fall in their self. And Jay from Jersey is evil. You can tell by the way he talks, the anger, the filth, the hatred for all of us.
But he is an average. I know this is hard for people to believe. He is an average. He is a typical Democrat. They're all that way. Most of them just hide their ugliness from us a little bit better than he does.
Well, you know what? He calls us idiots. Well, why is he watching the show? He's a bigger idiot.
Because this is the greatest radio show in the world. What else would you be doing?
I'm being facetious to him.
Yeah, I know, Roz. So what do you think about what happened yesterday with President Trump in Georgia?
When I heard it, I watched this Fani Willis on a news breaking thing, and she's like, yeah, him and his other people have to, surrender themselves by next Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what?
The morning after the Fox News Republican presidential debate that Trump is not going to be at.
Unbelievable. You know what? These people, they're just jealous of President Trump because everywhere he goes, everybody loves him, and they know. See, Brian, this is a bigger picture of other things. This is with the World Economic Forum, what they're trying to do. They want to take over our country.
Well, this is the thing with Trump. President Trump is the only president, going all the way back to George Washington, who is not a part of the political establishment. Every president we've had has been a part of the political establishment of the day, and the nominees were chosen for us, and we had a choice between this establishment-picked candidate or this establishment-picked candidate. They didn't take him as a serious opponent early enough, and he waltzed into a major victory. And what happened at the Iowa State Fair over the weekend was history. I mean, it was. Yeah, what do you think? I'm looking here at Fani Willis's charges. She's charging Donald Trump with many crimes, including telling people to watch Right Side Broadcasting, which I was watching for the Iowa State Fair on Saturday.
Well, I was watching that too.
Well, that's a crime. That's a crime if you're in Fulton County. You can't tell people to watch Right Side.
Trying to do is they're trying to, that's why they want to do gun reform and that.
Well, let's not get into that stuff. I appreciate the call, Russ. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Hi.
Hey, Jersey Mike.
Good morning. I'm doing pretty well. You know, I'm going to say, I can't wait to see you on the cruise. But anyway, two things. Lindell's topper I bought, I paid full price. And let me tell you something, it's worth every single penny. So for that, everybody should take note. If they want a good, comfortable sleep at night, invest in it. It's the best. You're spending 1/3 of your life in that bed to be 60 years old.
Yeah.
So start with that. Now, going on to you, I think you're the most funny guy going. And I'm going to tell you why. When you answer somebody's rebuttal, I mean, no, you're the rebuttal, you just make me laugh my ass off because you go right to the point and you show them that they're not correct in the way they're seeing the point that they're trying to make.
Well, when I'm talking to somebody on the phone, especially a liberal, I'm listening to every word very carefully. They don't think I am, but I'm listening to every word very carefully. And when Jay from Jersey said, "I don't care if they had to set him up," did you hear how he regretted that when I pointed that out to him? He was flipping out. But you know that's how Fani Willis and Jack Schmitt, that's how they believe. They think the same thing.
Democrats are like, the Democrats don't like the Republicans stick together like glue. And they are basically evil. And that's generally speaking. If people really inspect what they're doing, it is truly something that is...
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing you've got to understand. They don't think they're evil. They think they're saving us. They think they're saving us from ourselves.
No, you're right. Again. And you know what? You're brilliant. And I don't mean to blow up, but I'm just saying, you know all your facts and figures, and you go way back. You know about Kennedy. I'm an old guy. I'm 77 years old, so I lived through a lot of this stuff firsthand. I saw the towers come down in New York. I was drinking coffee and watching TV at the same time. So everything you know about, I've already seen, and I'm a little bit senior to you, and as you grow older, you get more wisdom. I'm sure you know that part of your work.
Well, that is not 100% accurate. Joe Biden's older than both of us, and look at him.
Well, that's true. Yes, there you go. You made me laugh.
All right, listen, I got to run. We're late for the break, but I'll see you on the cruise. All right, take care. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Greatest rock and roll hits of the...
That's a really good point with Fani Willis doing it after the Fox News debate.
Yeah.
So it sounds like she's giving Trump a chance to
go to the debate and make his case.
Yeah, and especially when they're saying, you can't watch certain things, but you're saying, but Fox News is okay. It sounds like she's
Yeah,
for Fox.
yeah, exactly.
Get on to Fox.
Exactly.
You won't do it alone.
Well, guys, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. You'll love my content, guys. I live stream 7 days a week. I also upload my podcast here, and I also do a lot of vlogging here as well. You'll love my content. It's the most pro-Trump channel you'll find anywhere. This is our cat, Luna. She's... My wife just took that picture and sent it to me. The vet thinks she's only like 9 months old. And we're thinking about getting another kitten that's about her age so she has a buddy. Is that a good idea, you guys? What do you think? That's she's a stray that we took in. She wants to play with our dog, but our dog's like 15. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No one loves Trump more than me. No one. It's not possible. There may be a lot of people that love Trump as equally as I do, but not more. Well, our vet has a couple of cats that are about the same age as her. Mark Meadows is not going to testify against Trump. Mark Meadows was with President Trump when he went to the hospital with COVID. All right, we are back. My name is Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. There is one opening on our board at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
James from Boca.
Hey, James.
Hey, the guy from New Jersey, Jay, I don't know how anybody can call President Trump a racist. You know, he signed 20 years for the black colleges across America to get money. He funded that. He's the only, or the first golf course.
slow down. Let's slow down on that. Let's slow down because you're talking about a lot of things that a lot of people don't know, and I want to talk about them. First, with the colleges, the black colleges came to Trump for their re-up of their government funding, and he gave them, it was 20 years of funding, and he said that the other presidents made them come back every couple of years and beg for money, and he gave it to them for 20 years so they didn't have to do that. Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach, where Mar-a-Lago is, President Trump had the first golf club that allowed blacks as members in Palm Beach, a Democrat town. That's a pretty amazing point. Anyway, go ahead, caller.
And he used to let Tiger Woods play golf free there.
Yes. Well, yeah. Yeah.
That lady that lived up there in Trump Towers for 8 years, a homeless lady.
Mm-hmm.
No way in shape and form anybody should be able to call this man a racist.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, take care. But you know what? Jay in Jersey thinks everyone who's white is a racist just because they're white. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Hey, PJ. How you doing?
Pretty good, but did you notice at the press conference last night, Fani Willis was specifically asked twice if she cooperated with Jack Schmitt, and she refused to answer.
Did anybody ask? No, I didn't. That press conference was after I was in bed, and I did watch. I haven't seen the whole thing in its entirety yet.
Yeah, but such cooperation with Jack Schmitt is more than obvious election interference.
So same reporter or two different reporters asked her about that?
No. One reporter asked her twice. The first time she wouldn't answer. She asked her like a two-part question, so she answered another part, and then she asked again. She says, "Are you cooperating with the special counsels, Jack Schmitt?" And she.
Well, that's a great question because I don't even know who that would occur. Whoever asked that question has information that she has, and her lack of an answer shows that she is. So that's interesting. Did anyone ask her about the comments of President Trump that she was involved in a sexual relationship with a gang member or possibly even a gang leader that she was prosecuting?
No, I don't recall that.
Yeah.
Tell you, I mean, this Brian Kemp, the governor there, he's got to launch an immediate investigation into whether.
Absolutely. In fact, he should remove her from office during that investigation. That's a serious allegation. That's a good pickup, PJ. I appreciate that. I'll look into that. That might be yeah. Mm-hmm.
If this turns out to be that she was colluding with Jack,
mm-hmm.
This kills all of Jack Schmitt investigation. That's a big no-no what he did.
Yeah, that fruit of the poison tree thing they're always talking about. Exactly. Isn't that something? That's well. Do you know who asked what outlet they were with?
No. But you know what? I just did a video about it. She didn't identify herself. The other guy, the guy that I did recognize was, I think it was Manu Raju from CNN.
Yeah, he
was asking, actually, he did ask her a pretty embarrassing question. He asked her about, hey, how come you guys released the indictment before the grand jury came in?
Yeah. It's almost like they knew what the grand jury was going to say.
Well, I don't know. I have nothing to do with what the clerk does. That was her answer.
The clerk only files documents that they're given. So the clerk, so someone from her office gave the clerk the document.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is, you know what, Governor Kemp, please, you got to start investigating.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Oh yeah, right. The 5th of never, he'll start that investigation. All right, PJ, take care. Good to talk to you. All right. Let's go. That's a good pickup on PJ's part. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Cindy calling from the Cape Fear region of North Carolina.
Hey, Cindy. Doing all right, Cindy. Best I can do with our country transforming into a banana republic.
It's very heavy. I just wanted to say, this whole thing about Trump was trying to get them to find.
Yeah.
cookie. They're the only person in the house as a kid. You go to them to try to give them a chance to come clean. Video.
And who does and by the way, who does crime on the phone when they're being filmed and recorded and everything? Give me a break. It's ridiculous. Well, unfortunately, with Brian Kemp, I keep trying to get people to stop calling these jerks rhinos. Republican in name only. That's too mild. I call them rats. Republicans against Trump. Rats. And I think that's a better word. Don't you? Rats.
We all need to pray very hard for Donald Trump, and hopefully the good will prevail.
All right. Take care. Take care. That's why I was telling you guys that President Trump is a Nelson Mandela-like figure. He's a political prisoner. And who would have thought that we would have political prisoners in this country? The first one we really had during this regime was Dinesh D'Souza when they put him away, when Obama was president. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Carl in Columbus.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, good morning. Hey, this is an example of what George is doing. When a bill collector calls you and says you need to find the money, we don't assume that they're telling us to rob a bank.
That's true.
And that's what they're trying to accuse President Trump of. And they're reading more into it than what it is. And I don't think it's going to work. I think it's going to get they'll be acquitted, or it'll get.
How's it going to be acquitted with a Democrat jury and everything? How you get acquitted in Fulton County if you're him?
I mean, there's a lot of people in Fulton County. I mean, it's not all. It's not all just liberal Democrats.
The best you could hope for with a jury there would be a hung jury.
But the equivalent. I mean, they're trying to charge the bill collector for calling and doing.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. All right, appreciate the thing. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
The Supreme Court of Georgia throws this out because they said that they had Trump's attorney had a case that they couldn't do anything about it until there was an indictment.
Well, I don't know too much about the political leanings of the Supreme Court in Georgia. I'm imagining we're going to find out right quick. Okay. Because things are going to start to get in motion. And I really think that when people see what happens next Friday on television in Georgia, that's going to wake up a lot of people. When they see the mistreatment, the anger, the hostility that the prosecutor, the sheriffs, the bailiffs, the deputies, the judge have towards President Trump, it's backfire. Big time.
And we need to have faith.
Well, we got faith, but we're still living through this, and we got to deal with it. I mean, like I told the caller earlier, Laura Loomer, she said President Trump didn't seem to have a worry on his mind, and if he's not worried, should we be worried, or is he worried and putting on a good face for us? There's no way to really know.
I don't know, but I'll just keep praying.
All right, thank you for the call. Our number is toll-free, 888-GO-CANE-1. Now, I played this a couple times earlier in the show, but I want to play it again before we run out of time today. This is Dick Morris with Rob Schmitt on NewsMax. And again, remember, Fani Willis is charging people with crimes now in Fulton County for telling people to watch NewsMax. So if you're listening to me in Fulton County, Georgia, please turn down the volume of whatever device you're listening to. Because it's a crime in Fulton County to tell people to watch NewsMax. But on NewsMax last night, Dick Morris said this.
With a touch, what's going to happen is that Trump is indicted now in Fulton County and in Washington, D.C., and he's going to be convicted. There's going to be a biased jury pool. We already know there's a biased prosecutor. In Washington County, the Washington, D.C., Hunter Biden's law partner is the judge, and he's going to go to prison, and he will be elected from president. It will not make any difference at all. He is going to be able to win this election no matter what they throw at him.
You think he's actually going to prison?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, and remember, Dick Morris is a senior advisor to President Trump, speaks with him every day. So when Dick Morris says something like that, that means this is a conversation he's had with Donald Trump. So good chance that that's what President Trump is thinking. All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking this morning?
Metals continue to trend lower, Brian, as we go down. Overnight, we tested the $1,900 number and actually broke through it, got down to about $1,896. Yesterday, we saw push lower on gold, with gold closing at $1,906.80, down $6.30. Silver lost 7 cents yesterday, closing at $22.58, while platinum was down $9 at $902, and palladium lost $34 at $1,244. As I said, the metals continue to push lower. Overnight, getting just below the $1,900 number. Right now, we're at $1901.50. That's down $5.30. Silver down 24 cents at $22.34 the ounce. Platinum down $15 at $8.87, and palladium down $28 at $1,216. So the market's giving us a great buying opportunity right now. It was kind of obvious that gold was going to at least test that $1,900 number over the last few days, and it certainly did last night. We'll see how it closes today, but if gold pushes back up and puts in a reversal, then it certainly we may have seen the lows for this run.
You know, I don't know how it is for you, but you know, gold and silver, it's like one of the only investments that I get excited when it's down, because that means you can run in, you can pick stuff up, you get great deals, and you know, with William Youngerman opens up at 10, you can do business completely over the phone if you can't make it in, no matter where you're located. But gold and silver today, what are the best buys in gold right now? I mean, this is a great price. People should be picking up gold today. If people come in, what can they pick up to get the most gold for their money?
Well, the most gold for your money is going to be in your gold bars. But many of the products that we have now are the coin products are very close to gold also. So they're great buying opportunities. You got the gold lower right now, and you've got the premiums back to normal low levels. So that gives you a great buying opportunity. You're safe both fronts.
Now the bars, you get the most gold for your money in bars. Bars come in 1 ounce sizes and even smaller, right?
They come in 1 ounce sizes, 5 gram, as little as 5 gram sizes, and of course we have the 10 ounce and kilo bars.
Well, those are my favorite, but a little out of my range. But and most people. But listen, this is the time. You know, whenever you hear someone buy low, sell high, this is one of those low times. Jump in. William Youngerman again opens up at 10 a.m. You can give him a call at 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or stop in. The address 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great.
All right, back after this.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all. I want to talk about my chiropractor, Dr. Appleton, who has changed my life. He has rid me of pain 5 times now, different parts of my body, different types of pain, some just from growing old, some from injuries. You've heard me talk about Dr. Appleton. And, you know, I was talking to Dr. Appleton yesterday, and he told me when it comes to the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, people find they have all kinds of pains going on because, of course, over the weekend, you're doing all kinds of things that you don't do during the week, right? Yard work, water skiing, golfing. You know, you're more active on the weekends physically than you are during the week. So Monday, Tuesday come around and you are suffering. But you know, one thing I learned from Dr. Appleton is this. I thought that pain, aches, and suffering was just part of growing older. And it's not. That's right. That's correct. And you know, that sciatic pain, that shoulder pain, that knee pain, that stops you from enjoying your life, say bye-bye to it. Go see Dr. Appleton. Talk to him about his laser away pain treatment. It works. It's worked with me 5 times. And, and that's it's amazing. And it makes me a lot more active. I've even lost weight because I'm more active than I was because I'm pain-free now. When you're suffering from pain, you're not as active. Now, Dr. Appleton does not require appointments, and walk-ins are welcome 6 days a week, even on Saturdays, because Dr. Appleton knows when you're suffering with pain, you need help, you need relief, you need it now. So give him a call. You can find him online, by the way, at AppletonChiro.com. If you need directions to his office, let him know, and they'll text the directions to his office to your cell phone, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710, and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. My name's Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
Quick question for you, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Who's funding these guys? Republicans control.
Which guys are you talking about? Which guys are you talking about?
Jack Smith, Georgia.
Well, Georgia. When the first indictment came down in Miami, or because that was federal, okay? Because we had New York first. I said that the Republicans, since we control the House of Representatives, should shut down the government until this crisis is over. Shut down the government. Now, when the government shut down, the government shuts down every weekend. Every Friday night at 5, the government shuts down. So essential functions continue, but shut down the government until this. And the crisis I'm talking about are turning presidents into political prisoners. That's the crisis we're in. And I think that would be a very effective tool, and it should be done. I don't think it would stop this because they'd still have the money, and Georgia's the state. But at least it would be a symbolic move by Kevin McCarthy.
He's no good, you know that.
No.
One more thing and I'll hang up because I know you're short.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is a good time that they can expose that election.
I don't think that's the way to go. And I'll tell you a couple reasons why. One, which is the secondary reason, we don't want to discourage turnout this time, okay? And devalue, because people, a lot of people are lazy when it comes to that. But also, it gives legitimacy to what they're doing. These are not legitimate legal procedures, okay? These are kangaroo courts right out of Nazi Germany, right out of Stalin's Soviet Union, okay? I mean, that's what's going on here. And I get so aggravated listening to the legal analysts on these news shows, pundits, talking about legal strategy. These are political moves, not legal moves that are being made here. And yeah, and I don't like giving legitimacy to any of the, this is a lot like when I talk about the Soviet Union or the Nazis, they had courts and you were guilty when you went into the court. And you didn't even have an opportunity to prove your innocence, but there was no presumption of innocence. And look at these charges I read. Some of the charges include President Trump tweeting, telling people to watch NewsMax, One American News, and Right Side Broadcasting. When you have I'm not making that up, it's in the Gateway Pundit. When you have a prosecutor charging as a crime someone telling other people in America to watch particular news outlets, we're in a nation that we don't even recognize anymore.
Absolutely, 100% right.
Okay, take care. In Russia, and it's true in Cuba even today still, it's not just illegal in these, and this was true with the Nazis. In Russia, the Soviet Union, Nazi Germany, obviously it was illegal to speak out and criticize the government. But it was also illegal to hear someone, and this is true in Cuba today. It is illegal to hear someone criticize the government and not turn them in. You can actually go to prison in Cuba today if you hear someone criticize the government and you don't turn them in. Well, I know, it sounds crazy, right? Well, that's kind of what's going on with Fani Willis here, charging Trump with crimes of telling people to watch NewsMax, One America News, and Right Side Broadcasting. I am not kidding. It's in the charges. Go to thegatewaypundit.com. Act 100 and Act 101 of her charges. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Oh, yes.
Hi, this is Todd, first-time caller.
Welcome.
Thank you. I love your show, and I love President Trump. He's one of my clients. He's purchased furniture from me.
Oh, great.
My question is about the Supreme Court. Can he go to the Supreme Court to first before these cases, or?
Well, you know, in these, I'm not an attorney, okay? So I'm not, you know, Mark Levin knows about these things, but my guess, obviously yes, but there's an appellate process, right? You appeal, like you would go to the appellate court, and then you would go to their step. I mean, I guess you could fast track something to the Supreme Court because there's a national crisis going on. But I don't know, you know, I don't know why they haven't done it already. So there must be some reason why the Trump team has not gone to the Supreme Court yet. So why that is, I don't know. But have you just found the show?
No, I've been listening for a while, but just the first time I called. I've been listening probably for last year.
Oh, well, great. Well, welcome. I'm glad you found us. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is really a scary time we're in. I mean, I've got goosebumps on my arms right now just talking about this. I cannot believe. I think I'm in a state of shock, and I don't think I'm alone. I don't think it's really registered that we have a political prisoner with President Trump. And that's why I'm so glad that Fani Willis and that corrupt sheriff in Fulton County are making such a big deal about televising it. I believe when the American people, including ourselves, I mean, obviously we know what's going on, but the gravity of the situation is a little removed because we haven't seen it, the courtroom. When we see President Trump and America's mayor and lawyers for President Trump hauled up in front of a judge on Friday next week for an arraignment, and we see a nasty prosecutor, a nasty sheriff, probably a rude judge, and we see President Trump there, I think that's going to wake up a lot of people to what this country has transformed into.
No, I definitely think that the people know what's going on. The actual, real corrupt person, the person that's in the office now.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing with our society is until people actually see, obviously we know what's going on, but to actually see the treatment live on TV in that courtroom is going to move a lot of people to tears. People are going to be, I knew what was going on, I knew it was bad, but I didn't think it was this bad. It's just like when Dinesh D'Souza went to prison. It was a bad thing when Obama put him in prison. He was a political prisoner. And then Dinesh D'Souza made a movie, and he showed very dramatically how bad the prison he was in was, and that was like, wow. You know, he was in there with murderers, rapists. What's going on? Why isn't he in the white-collar prison? You know, why is he in with murderers? Because they were trying to get him whacked is why, you know, Dinesh D'Souza. They were hoping, you know. But this is the state of this country today. This is the biggest threat to our democracy we've had since the Democrat insurrection against the federal government of the Civil War. It's that bad. I mean, our country is in jeopardy right now of collapse. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right, he sold furniture to President Trump. That's pretty cool. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian, how are you? You know, Bob, we look ahead to this year, this political year coming up. This is going to be really something to watch on a daily basis, even an hourly basis. And now we got the thought police cracking down on everybody, too. I never thought I'd see this in this country. I think Dick Morris may be correct, but the constitutional implications of him winning the election and being in prison, theoretically, can he pardon himself? Can he take the oath of office from prison? I don't.
Well, Dick Morris says he can. But you can't pardon yourself on state charges. you know, the presidents can only pardon federal crimes, not state crimes, and Georgia's a state charge is.
This in the United States of America.
No, and I still can't believe it.
President Trump, because he's under the gun, and this is just outrageous. Hopefully, this will backfire on these guys.
Yeah. Well, listen, Brian, I'm out of time. I got to run, but thanks for the call. And the rest of you on hold, we're out of time for today. But if you hang in there, you'll be first in line tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. This is the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida. My name is Brian Craig. Oh, boy. God bless America. And, of course, God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by the Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the...
All right, guys, I got to run. I'll see you later. Take care.